So how do you fix this? New tool in After Effects CC called the Refine Edge tool. I'm just going to select that. And this is the voodoo magic stuff here, because all I have to do is kind of paint along this edge. We'll add the top of that tree there. And let go. And it has done an amazing job of just grabbing the edge of the tree there. We'll go ahead and go along here. Now what's great about this is it's picked out all of that fine detail. If I just jump back over to my composition view at this point, does that look better? This will actually track over time. So if I hit the play button, watch what this does. This will actually start to track across time. I haven't painted on this section of the image, but it's picked up that fine edge and it's continuing to draw across there to add that additional information. It's a huge, huge time saver when it comes to any type of roto work, compositing work, to just really quickly be able to do fine edge detail. Hair works great. If you want to see more on this, I'll tell you a little bit about the After Effects Malaysia group in a minute. We're going to have Hussein Khan come up in my demo to talk about what we're doing in the afternoon here. But I have one other really cool feature to show you with the time that I have. I want to make sure and leave time for this. Another potential problem with this shot, this car looks like it's just been driven off of a rental car lot someplace. It's a little bit, doesn't look like an off-road vehicle. It doesn't look like it's out in the middle of nowhere. So one way of fixing this would be to add maybe a grill on the front of this car. I've already gone through and run the 3D camera tracker on this. So you can see here are some different tracking points on this shot. And in fact, I think I might have saved this already with, no I haven't. Let me go ahead and open this up again. I am on the basic piece here. What am I doing wrong? This is one of those cases where I've done this demonstration a million times, and I bet you as soon as I'm still on the Refine Edge tool. Okay. Basic control, there we go. All right. Even the best of us make mistakes like that every so often. So what I'm going to do, I've already run the 3D camera tracker on this shot. Basically, I've let After Effects take this video clip and analyze it and try and figure out some rudimentary 3D geometry for this shot. So you can see how those points actually track to the different pieces of the ground. They track to the front of the car here. I'm really quickly going to set up a ground plane here. And I'm just going to kind of look for some points here that will act as a ground plane. And new in After Effects CC, I can now set that as a ground plane in an origin. And I'm also going to put a placeholder right on the grill of this car here. So we'll go ahead and create a solid on the grill of the car there. So what I've done at this point is I've kind of given this scene some really nice 3D geometry. Now the reason I'm doing this is because we have a relationship. And the last time I was here in Malaysia, I mentioned this. We have a nice working relationship now with the Maxon folks who make Cinema 4D. So what I'm going to do at this point is actually export out what I'm working on as a Cinema 4D project file. I'll just stick this on my desktop. I'll call this one KL. And just to get it back into the scene here, I'll just import it back in from my desktop. And I'm going to go ahead and drag it and drop it right into my composition. Now you'll notice that this is a C4D file inside of a composition. That's because now After Effects, thanks to the Cineware plugin that's included with After Effects can now read C4D files directly. So if you are a Cinema 4D artist, you can now take a C4D file from Cinema 4D, drag it and drop it right into your project inside of After Effects. But even better, if you're not a C4D owner right now, we are including, with your Creative Cloud membership, a light version of Cinema 4D. So if you've always wanted to get started doing 3D animation work, you now have this tool. As part of your Creative Cloud membership, you can start using Cinema 4D Lite today. So I'm going to take this C4D layer here in my composition, and I'm going to use the Adobe command Edit Original. This actually launches my copy of Cinema 4D. And if you like, you can actually, if you activate this with Maxon, you get a few extra motion graphic functions, including the fracture object function, which is really kind of fun to play with. So I'm just going to go ahead and just cancel out of that for now. Here's my scene as I've created it. You can see here I've got the object that's been brought across. Very quickly, I'm going to go ahead and add the grill to my project. Oh, there's an update already. See that later. Again, all updates, always optional. You don't have to update it. I'm going to take the grill guard. Oops. Just going to parent it to that solid object. And very quickly, under the coordinates here, I'm just going to zero out the coordinates so that it is locked up to that object. Almost there. Almost there. It's worth it. It's worth waiting for. Okay. Now I can just kind of pick this up, maybe move it up a little bit, grab a rotation tool, maybe rotate it around a little bit. Now, just so you understand, the workflow to go from Cinema 4D in the past into After Effects, at this stage of the game, I would have to render this animation file out. Typically as some sort of like sequential target files, some sort of image sequence out of this program, bring it over into After Effects. If it didn't line up exactly the way I wanted to, I'd have to go back over, I'd have to move it around, re-render it again, then import it back into After Effects again. So there was a workflow to do it, but it was complicated. How do I get this from Cinema 4D over to After Effects? Pay attention, it's really complicated. I come up to File, and I click Save. Everybody got that? Yeah. If I go back to After Effects at this point, there's my grill. Oh, I didn't turn off that solid, so I'm going to come back over here and just turn off the solid. And once again, File, Save, switch back, ding, it's gone. And now I've got a basic start to having this grill added to the car, and it's actually tracked across the